I was born on the ranch, and it was 5 miles out of town, and it was in the middle of summer in apricot season. And my mother said she baked 10 loaves of bread, and I was born 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the country doctor came out, and it was a busy time, and the doctor had to leave. I was born, and the doctor says, "You have another girl, Mrs. Calary," and my Aunt Annie said, "Jenny, what are you going to name her?" And she says, "Annie, don't bother me. I'm so busy. I have other things to think about. The doctor is leaving. What are you going to name her?" She says, "I don't care. Name her anything." So she named me after her. So I became Aunt Annie's favorite niece. And that's why I was named Anna. I don't remember polio at 18 months old, only what my mother said. She was not home. My grandmother had a stroke, and she was in San Jose taking care of her mother. And my father and my sisters, older sisters, were taking care of me and my younger brother, who was 5 months old. And they thought I was teething, and they couldn't bring down my temperature. And so my father called my mother, and they rushed me to the hospital. And the doctor said, "We don't know what this is going to leave her, but it's going to leave her something." And when I was home and I tried to walk, my mother said I couldn't walk. And I was about 3 years old before I started walking again. And when I did start to walk, I had a brace, and the old-fashioned brace with the cast iron base, and I used to walk it was just my left leg, and I used to slap my foot as I walked, and I slapped it every time I would pivot on my left heel. And many, many falls, because I was determined I was going to do it, just like all the other polio victims. I had to go to the doctor every month, it seems like. And we had to go from Gilroy to San Jose. My mother didn't drive, so Aunt Annie had to take us. And you go into the doctor's office, and they grab your leg, and they said, "Now move your toes." It was a pain in the neck, and I didn't want it. Nothing bothered. It didn't hurt, but they just grab your leg, and I would scream. And I did that for 4 years. And my poor mother said, "I've had it. You stop the screaming, and I will get you a Shirley Temple doll." I thought, hey, that sounds pretty good. It's a good deal. So she saved her green stamps. And in 1936, that was $3 per book. She saved them, and she got the Shirley Temple doll, 3 books. And I remember coming home with that doll, and I still have that doll. I still have that doll today. She's 28 inches tall, and she's still beautiful. And so I didn't scream after that, because I knew. And she's a beautiful doll. And my sisters always said, I have 4 older sisters, "I never got a doll like that." And I said, "You can have her and polio too." And I guess it wasn't very nice, but it was true, you know. I says, well, that's
the best you're going to get out of polio.
That's the
Shirley
best.
Temple doll.
Was that Shirley Temple doll. My brother, at 14 years old, said he was going to pick 2,000 prunes in one day. And my younger brother said he can do it too. And I said I can do it too. And I did at 12 years old. I couldn't eat dinner that night. I was exhausted. And my father was very upset.
Because you'd pushed yourself.
I pushed myself too hard. But I did it. I showed them, boy. I remember being just so happy that children were not going to be strapped with that horrible disease. and not go through what we had to go through.